Happy Solar Sunday, everybody. It's Jamie Green, the Solar Queen. I hope that you all are having a wonderful weekend. My family and I have been celebrating my husband because it's his birthday today. So it's been a little, a little rainy and cold today here in Northern California, up in the Bay Area in Marin County. But his birthday present came. He actually got himself a new golf club. And I am happy because he loves to golf. So the kids made him a nice birthday card today, birthday cards, and we gave him some gifts and just, spent the day celebrating him. I'm baking a pumpkin pie right now. We're going to have some dinner afterwards, and he's going to have some cake. So that's what we're doing this cold, wet weekend in December. And I hope you all are having, a great Sunday afternoon. So in today's show, I wanted to talk about what happens when you have solar and it's rainy or it's cloudy and what happens to your energy. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Don't mind my messy hair today. It's just all over the place. But yeah, so if you have questions about solar and you have questions about, weather and how weather affects your solar system, or if you're going to thinking about getting a solar system for your home or for your business, that's what I'm going to talk about today. So feel free to comment or ask questions. I'd love to answer them live on the show today. So what happens when it's raining and you have solar power? The good news is your solar panels get cleaned. So that's a really a good thing. When we don't have much rainfall, you do want to clean your panels every 6 months or so. So I checked our panels. They're nice and clean. I'm really happy to see that. Oh, thanks, Mark. My hair looks awesome. Love. Yes, okay, here's the truth. I'm going to share a little bit about myself. I have a lot of gray hair. You probably can't tell. I have really good lighting, but I have a lot of gray hair on the sides here. And so I don't really pull it up very often because I just don't get my hair colored. I'm too lazy and I don't want to spend time in a hair salon getting my hair done. And so I haven't gotten my hair colored in a really long time. So thank you for that nice compliment. I receive and accept it. Yeah, so when you get solar panels put on your rooftop and it rains, not much energy is actually going to be produced or generated on rainy days. In fact, I'm going to pull up our solar system and our monitoring app and tell you exactly how much energy our solar system has produced today as of, maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon. There's a little bit of a lag time, but our system has produced 807 watts of energy. Yesterday, it produced 1.84 kilowatt hours of energy. So you can imagine not only are their days shorter, but on cloudy, rainy days, you're not going to get as much energy production out of your solar system. I have no frame of reference being bald. My husband is not quite bald, but he has short hair and he's growing a beard right now. So yeah, I guess he has no frame of reference. Hi, Tom. Thanks for watching. So during a rainy day, your system is still going to produce some because they're using UV rays to, a lot of the UV rays are penetrating the solar panels through the clouds, and even the rain kind of helps just add a little bit more energy. Jamie, how many watts of energy does I don't even know. We'll have to have a wattage meter going. Yeah. So your solar system is still going to produce a little bit of energy during the rainy days. Hi, Weldon. I hope you're doing well, Weldon. Yes, I hope that you're doing well. So I won't share too much, but that's all I'm wishing for you is that you're doing well and recovering. So I think you had some surgery. So that's what I'm hoping is happening for you. So thanks for watching. So on the rainy days, the sun is still behind the clouds during the daytime, and the UV rays are still penetrating through the clouds, and they're still going to hit your panels, and they're going to still generate some energy. Weldon, praying for you. Thanks, Mark. That I love this community. Thanks, guys, for chiming in. So this was our production yesterday. I don't know if you can see it very well, but little looks like kind of looks like Starry Night. That one part in Starry Night and the painting. Yeah, so that's where we're at. And so your system's going to still produce energy, but what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pulling energy from the grid, so your utility company. And depending on when you get solar or how long you've had solar, so for newer people who just got permission to operate, say in October, November, December timeframe, you're starting out at a deficit. So you're going to be pulling more energy from the grid then your system's going to be producing. And then as the springtime comes and the days are longer, you're going to be adding some more credits. You're going to be having more solar energy readily available during the day. And then any excess energy that you're not using immediately is going to go into your net energy metering account with your utility company. And they're going to bank it there for you so that during rainy days or cloudy days or during the wintertime, you're going to be able to debit from your credits. So that's how, like right now, there is a little blue sky, a little break from the rain outside, but really the sun is getting ready to set here in about an hour. So our system is not really producing all too much energy. So we are just debiting from our credits if we have any right now. Jamie, how much savings are you enjoying yearly? Are you selling the energy back? So Mark, that's a great question. Our net energy metering our true up with the utility company is coming up here in March. And we are saving, we went from about $100 to $120 utility bill down to when we got solar for the first, we did this really interesting interest only loan. And then it started in at 18 months of interest only first, and then it went to, it re-amortized now that we've had it for more than 2 years or coming up on 2 years. And now we're paying $80 a month. Before, when it was interest only, it was only $35 a month, but we were paying like $50 a month. We have a very small system. So that's part of it. But for people who are getting systems installed and have more energy consumption and then go to solar, a lot of times they're seeing the savings because they're not being charged for all the excess energy that they're using. Because the more energy you use, the more you pay. So for us, we saw, what is that? Let's do the math. Gosh, I don't even know if I can do the math right now. 80 divided by 120. We're saving about 35% on our, and that was back 2 years ago when we went solar, a year and a half ago when we went solar, a little bit more than a year and a half. The rates continue to increase. So when we went solar, our base rate was 21.5 cents. It's now 24.5 cents for tier 1 people. So not all states allow solar grid cable connection. I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's for people who live in the city or in a county, you have to be grid tied. The only people that can be off the grid are people who live in really remote locations, and they have to go through approvals to live off the grid. So not all states allow grid tied cable connection. I'm thinking you're thinking solar and not cable wires. So clarify your question. I'll answer it even more. How is the energy stored and you know what you have banked? Great question, Weldon. So energy is stored it's going to either go out to the grid. Your excess energy is either going to go back out to the grid where the utility company actually sells the energy at retail rates, and they're going to give you a kilowatt hour credit depending on what time of day you're generating that energy, that credit. So, or that energy. So for instance, anytime before 4 p.m. here in Northern California, and I believe down in Southern, a lot of utility companies are going to time of use, especially if you're solar energy or solar powered. We are only generating credits during, normal time, before 4 p.m. Anytime before then is non-peak kilowatt hours. And so that you get a non-peak kilowatt hour credit deposited into your net energy metering account. But the time of day that most people need to draw on that energy is at nighttime between 4 and 9 p.m., which is peak kilowatt hour usage. And that is a little more expensive in terms of the value of that kilowatt hour. So you're like depositing, say you're depositing, $1 of energy during non-peak, but they're going to charge you $1.25 or, debit you $1.25 from those credits. So it's not an exact 1-to-1 ratio, which really stinks. Back in the day it was, but not any longer. Utility companies are getting smarter and smarter. So it's either going to go into your net energy metering account, and you're going to be able to log into your utility companies, your online portal, or you're going to see where you lie at, like where you're at with energy credits and like how much you've consumed. So you'll be able to see that on your monthly statement or online when you log in. Or the other option is you can have a solar system and tie it into a backup battery, which are still kind of expensive. You still can get a tax credit for the portion of the battery, but you can store your energy into your battery and then use that energy later on at nighttime. That's another option to store your energy. And if if your battery gets charged up to the max capacity, then you're going to go and you're going to deposit credits into your net energy metering account to use at a later time, especially like if you use your backup battery for peak hours and you deplete your battery, then you're going to pull from those credits. So it's kind of like the grid is your backup to your backup battery if you have a backup battery. So that's how that works. How many years does it take to break even after install? It depends on where you live, and it depends on how you pay for it. So if you pay cash for your system, you're going to break even faster on your system than you would if you financed it. If you ever were to do a lease or a PPA, it might be a little bit, about the same amount of time as if you were to finance it. So in California, most homeowners, if they take if we took the difference of that $80 to $110, I'm going to say $110. If we took that $30 and paid down our loan faster, we would break even in about 7 years. So the thing is if you don't go solar, what are your other options? Your options are literally to continue paying the utility company. And they're going to continue to raise your rates. And you're going to be paying 15% more, at least in California. It's about an eight. I've seen between 8 and 15% rate increases depending on when you look at the time of year that they're changing. But it's compounding. So in 2 years' time, you're going to be paying 15% more than what you paid, 2 years ago. And then it's going to compound and compound and compound. So, 100 kilowatt hours at 21 cents or 1,000 kilowatt hours. Let's do that because that's kind of an average for homeowners at 24.5 cents. That's $245 if you only had tier 1 rates, which that's not even accurate. So 300 times 0.245. So $74 for the first 300 kilowatt hours. And then I believe it's 28.5 cents for California. It's not as expensive in other states, although New England states I know are getting up there in price too. So $200 plus 70, we'll say that is $270 for 1,000 kilowatt hours if you live in the state of California. And then, it's only going to get more and more expensive as rates continue to increase. So the way that I see solar is it's stopping the rate increases. You're getting your power from clean, renewable energy that's never really going to go away, and you're saving money. So it's like this, it's going to keep going like that. And with solar, it's like that, especially if you finance it, it's a fixed price. So it's kind of cool. I hope that answered your question, Mark. Hi, JR. I hope you're doing well there in North Carolina. And Doug Wing, thanks for watching. Say hi to the Gittimers. I know that you're there in South Carolina doing the writer's workshop with them. This is what I'm interested in. Weldon, we should talk then about, where I don't even know where you reside. I may or may not be able to help you depending on what state you live in. And Mark, thank you, Jane. You're welcome. Proud to be. Yes, we're in the Grow Live Academy together with Ken Wells. It's really great. You've never met someone who has had the passion. You've never met someone, for helping save money in the environment. Well, I kind of have geeked out on solar energy. And I think, the installation process can be a bear for some, especially with weather right now. I have a couple installs going in next week, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that the rain subsides so that they can get their solar installed and start saving faster. So like once I can help get the homeowners and the business owners through the installation process, then the solar, it's just saving money and you just feel proud. Like it makes me proud. I took a picture of a drawing that my son took last night, put it on my Instagram and on my Jamie Green, the Solar Queen Facebook page. And he, on his own, just drew a picture of a house, a really lovely house, abstract, it was very abstract on the whiteboard. I have this huge whiteboard in my room for just to brain dump thoughts and ideas on and plan things out. And he drew a picture with a roof, a tile roof, with trees and windows and all the details and grass and a street and a driveway with a car in it. I don't know if it was an electric car or not, but he drew solar panels on it. And so they go around with me. I talked about this last week. They go around with me every installation or site inspection. They came with me to go deliver some thank you gifts to all my customers this year. So they observe what mom's doing, and they recognize if a homeowner has solar, and they go, "Yay, mom! Look, they have solar!" And so we celebrate those type of things. So it's really fun to do that with them. So I am passionate about solar. It's why I am the Solar Queen. Thank you, Mark. You're appreciated too. I appreciate your kind comments. Weldon, you need a max of at least 5 years to break even. Let's see, I think Hawaii breaks even about 4 years for their solar systems. California, it can be, for businesses, it's faster because they have depreciation. They have the MACRS depreciation. So not only do they have the tax credit, they have depreciation. And sometimes states have special tax credits and depreciations for business owners. So if you're a business owner and you use a lot of energy and you spend a lot of money on energy, contact me. I'll put my email addresses up here in a second. You need to reach out so you can get solar on your rooftops, warehouses, any buildings that use a lot of energy. And when I say a lot of energy, if your utility bill's like $10,000 or more a month, even $5,000 or more a month, you need to reach out to me so I can help you. But Weldon's right. You need at least a max of 5 years to break even. I would say in California, it's more like I've seen between 6 and 8, 9 years. It all depends on what everyone is doing with their home. If they're getting a main panel upgrade, if they're getting roof work done, if they're having trees trimmed, anything like that, or say they're getting a ground mount. Ground mounts are a little bit more expensive than rooftop mounts because it takes trenching and it takes a ground mount, like a physical structure to put the panels on. So it all depends on everyone's unique situations. Why it's really important to meet with me if you want it, so we can really dig in deep and discover what you need. People that get hot tub, like I met with a homeowner yesterday who they had got their true up and it was $1,700. And they went solar maybe 4 years ago, and they're like, "Can you help me understand why I'm getting a true up?" So I went over to their home. We pulled out their old, the original paperwork, and it showed that they got a 6.27 kilowatt system size. They have 22 panels on the rooftop. So then the next question was, okay, so you probably have 265 or 285. Well, they had 285s on their rooftop. The thing is people think a certain number of panels and certain, why does everybody have certain amount of panels on their roof and I need more or less? It just varies and depends on how much energy you use. And so what ended up happening is probably at the time that they got their solar system, they got enough of an offset to cover their historic usage. But then what happened was they added outdoor lighting to their house. They added 2 refrigerators. Like one, I think, is a very I don't know if it's a Sub-Zero, but they have 2 new refrigerators. Their air conditioning was running because everyone's home during COVID. and they get all south facing exposure. All their living spaces south facing, so they are running their air conditioning a lot more. So what ended up happening was, after they got the solar installed, they added all these things to their home, which was using more energy than their system was ever designed to produce. So that was the discovery, and that was the conversation that we had. So, kind of when you look into getting solar, make sure you are thinking about things that you might be adding to your system down the road, or not your system, any additional electricity that you might be consuming that you're not thinking about now, like an electric car or a hot tub or a sauna or a steam room or whatever it might be, because those things happen. People do that, and they add those things. Have JR create a Solar Queen superhero avatar for me. JR, we'll have to talk. That would be kind of fun. And Weldon says, great, thanks. You're welcome, Weldon. We should just talk. Hi, Justin. How are you doing, fellow masterminder? Justin and I are in a mastermind together. He has a CBD, 101cbd.org. He's helping a lot of people with his CBD company. It's amazing stuff. So thanks for watching. So really, on cloudy, rainy days, going back to your systems, they're going to produce less energy, but do not fear, because that's all considered and factored into the design of your system. And when you, like, going back to the homeowner I was just talking about who had a true up, and I've been talking to a lot of homeowners who have existing systems. In fact, I met with a gentleman whose lease is coming up. They're hoping the leasing company takes the panels off the roof, because they want to replace it and purchase their system and get more powerful solar panels on the rooftop, so they don't have a true up any longer. This homeowner that leased 10 years ago always had a true up from day one, because they used to, back in the day, undersize the system, because back in the day, solar was so much more expensive. But now the cost of goods have come down so dramatically that it's a no-brainer, especially in California, Nevada, Arizona, places like that where you use a lot of energy and energy is a little more expensive, and starting to become on the East Coast. Like, I know parts of the New England states, you're up there with 18 cents a kilowatt hour, per kilowatt hour. It's more expensive. So I know that solar for homeowners with those type of rates are going to save, even if you finance. And you can finance with $0 out of pocket. It's incredible. So it's no cost to you. Obviously, you have to qualify for financing and interest rates. I have one program that's as low as less than 1% on interest, but you pay a little bit more in fees and all that stuff. But that's another thing. Then if you just got a standard 2.99 loan, and it also depends on how long you're going to take that loan out. Generally speaking, people go 20 to 25 years, especially if they're going to be in their home for more than 7 years. 7 years makes sense. 5 years to 7 years makes sense, because you're going to break even by then. And then solar only adds the value to your home. It's really awesome. So anyways, that's kind of getting into the weeds of how to finance for solar. But what I wanted to talk about was on those cloudy, rainy days, you're going to have, that's factored in. So in the summertime, the curve is going to go like this. Oh, geez, go like this. Think of my head as the summertime months, and these things is like the winter and spring, whatever. So it's like a bell curve. You're gonna overproduce in the summertime if your system is sized properly. So that's really important to do. And then you're just gonna benefit from those credits that you've built up. Looking at reducing operation costs on commercial properties, also condo association costs is huge. Yeah. Currently collecting rent from cell tower use on rooftop. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, then we should definitely talk. We should hop on a Zoom call when you're feeling up to it, or we can start with messaging, however you would like. Reducing operation costs it's one thing that, who else can do that in your operations as a business owner? Where else can you cut the costs? Well, you can cut the costs with energy costs. So that's why it's really important as business owners chat with me. Yeah, so I hope that this was really helpful for you guys. Oh, let's talk about snow. What happens with the snow? It just, the snow just, it kind of just slides off the panels. The panels, you don't need to worry about snow like being up there. Obviously, if you get like 2 feet of snow, it might take a while for the snow to melt off of the panels, but snow, it doesn't sit on top of your panels. And the only reason why I say 2 feet of snow is because I know that there are parts of the country that get lake effect snow. My mom and stepdad used to live in Buffalo, New York, and growing up, I was going out to visit them from Washington State and on Thanksgiving, and I checked the weather report right up before getting on the plane to fly out there because there was a winter storm warning in effect. And sure enough, they got 24 inches of snow in 24 hours. So I just say that because I know it's possible to get that much snow. But in places like Colorado, Utah, Texas sometimes gets snow. These are all places where I know that people are getting solar. The panels will not be affected by the snow. So that's good. And they're also rated against hailstorms too. So these panels they're strong. They're not going to break under, hailstorm conditions. There's certain solar panels you want during hurricane and footings for hurricane type weather. But for the most part, they're durable and they're going to last 30 to 40 years. The warranties on the panels are 25 years. So it's ridiculous. And they're going to just last longer. At some point in time, they're going to, not generate as much energy. And at that point in time, you might want to consider replacing the whole entire system. Weldon says, hey, Doug, or just adding to the system size. So that's something that there's options, and there's new technology coming out on the inverter side. So, there's really 3 components to a solar system: the solar panels, the mounting system, which is like the footings and the hardware that these solar panels actually sit on your rooftop. And then there's the inverter, and the inverter is what converts the energy from direct current that the solar system is producing on your rooftop into alternating current that is running through your home. So there is new technology with the inverters on SolarEdge is a very common inverter that I use and sell to homeowners and business owners. Well, business owners, there's a lot more options for larger inverters, commercial sized inverters, but there's new technology that will allow people to add to their system, plug in a electric car, plug in a battery. It's just incredible. So you're not stuck in having with this certain inverter that is only sized for your system, your existing system. So it's kind of cool what's coming out when it comes to solar. That's just lake effects up in West North Carolina. I don't know what WNC. I'm thinking it's Western North Carolina. You need 3 feet for them to get concerned. Yeah, well, JR, maybe that's up in I don't know, WNC. You'll have to comment more. But what was it? That lake effect snow, it was like a state of emergency. So no one was allowed on the streets. I had to lay over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for, I think, 4 or 6 hours before it was safe to land at the Niagara Buffalo Airport. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. I don't do cold and I don't do snow very well. Even here in California, it's 51 degrees and I'm bundled up. My hands are freezing cold right now, but I'm usually bundled up in something warm. So great insights, Jamie. I look forward to seeing you. Oh yeah, Glenn and Ken Walls and Glenn Morshore and a guy named Scott. They have a live show coming up in about 30 minutes. So sorry, Western New York. Geez. Yes, Western New York. Lake Erie, I think, Lake Erie. They just got tons of snow. I think it's Lake Erie. Gosh, I don't even know. Guys, I'm really bad at my geography right now. In the, let's see, Buffalo. We do have family on my husband's side that lives in Buffalo, New York. let's see. Yep, Lake Erie, and then Lake Ontario is just north of it. So that's really my show today that I wanted to talk about when it comes to solar energy. What happens to your energy? Does the solar system still produce on cloudy, rainy days? The answer is yes, just not the maximum potential that your system is designed to produce at any given time during the year. So obviously your system is going to underproduce during the wintertime just because the sun is out less, and just the direction of the sun. In the summertime, you're going to overproduce, but your system solar system should be sized to produce enough energy, or I always say build in a little cushion so you don't ever have to deal with true up, which you're going to, even if you get a true up, guys, and you have solar. This was asked to me yesterday twice. Am I still saving money? The answer is yes, you're still saving money, because the cost of your system over the life of 25 years on any given system for 25 years, you're going to be paying less per kilowatt hour for that solar system than you will ever pay to the utility company. So utility companies are going to continue to raise their rates. You're just going to keep paying more if you're not solar powered. So yes, you're still going to save, but as you get a true up, you're still subject to the utility company's rate increases, which really stinks. So solar power is wonderful. Cost savings, it's a huge money saver for people. You're investing in yourself rather than sending it to the utility company and you'll never see that money again. It's an asset instead of a liability, and you're going to increase the value of your home as well. So yes, here. If you want to reach out to me, you can, if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to message me. You can send me a direct message. If you know people, share this out who might want solar. And then if you're interested in residential solar, send me an email at jamie@jamiegreenthesolarqueen.com, or send me a direct message. If you're watching on Instagram later on, you can send me a direct message there. If you're watching on YouTube, send me an email or comment, or however you want to reach out. And then for commercial, you can send me an email at jamie@excelsiorsolar.com. Or again, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. That always seems to work. And thank you for sharing, Weldon. And I do hope that you feel well, and let's talk soon. So everyone, have a great Sunday. I'm going to go check on my pumpkin pie because I did bake a pumpkin pie. I think I mentioned that. It's a vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free pumpkin pie. And I tested it on Thanksgiving and it was delicious, believe it or not. I have all these weird food allergies that I need to avoid. And so I'm excited because now I can go put it into the refrigerator to cool or to chill or whatever and have it after dinner tonight. So great show. Thank you for watching, Justin. I appreciate it. And thanks for everybody for asking your great questions. I really appreciate it because I could talk about so many things with solar, but if you guys have specific questions, come on and ask the question, and I will answer them as the best I can. If I don't know the answer, I will go research and find the answer for you. So thanks again. Invite me. All right. I don't even know what that means, but have a great Sunday, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you next week.